Let's jump right into this explainer, because today we are completely deconstructing a highly controversial transfer that literally shattered the illusion of modern sports. Seriously, this is a story that plays out exactly like a high-stakes suspense thriller, yet it happened right in front of millions of completely oblivious fans. We're going to break down the timeline, the hidden mechanics, and the ultimate, devastating fallout of a massive deal that went terribly, terribly wrong.
Because it really all started with just one signature, which was, of course, tied to one very specific contract.
And ultimately, one decision. Literally, one decision is all it took to permanently change the trajectory of one of football's absolute brightest rising stars. At the time, fans everywhere just thought it was another normal deal, right? Just another generational player moving to a massive club to live out his dreams. But as we're about to uncover, this was anything but normal.
Section 1. The next football superstar.
To really understand the stakes, we have to look at where this player was before all the dark boardroom dealings even started. He was following the absolute textbook trajectory of a true sporting prodigy. We're talking about a phenomenal early career built on just raw, undeniable talent, which quickly forged a massive reputation out on the pitch. And naturally, that kind of magic triggers fierce, undeniable European interest. Basically, every major club on the planet wanted him. He was the golden boy, completely on top of the world.
But what was actually happening behind closed doors? While the fans thought this was just a natural progression, a standard negotiation for a hyped-up rising star, a heavily guarded contract was already being quietly drawn up in the shadows. And this was entirely separate from the narrative being fed to the public.
Which brings us to Section 2, the highly anticipated transfer. So, the public was being sold this incredibly dazzling story. Roaring media excitement, wall-to-wall headlines, and just sky-high fan expectations. It was a complete and utter media frenzy. But the actual reality? Totally hidden. We're talking closed-door transfer negotiations and entirely secret agreements. A much, much darker game was being played by the executives while the fans were looking the other way.
So with expectations absolutely through the roof, nobody knew what was actually buried deep inside that agreement. What exactly were these top-tier executives hiding from the fans, from the media, and maybe even from the sports governing bodies themselves?
Section 3, revealing the secret clauses. Well, the truth was frankly staggering. This wasn't just some standard gentleman's agreement or a slightly inflated signing bonus. No, hidden deep within a mountain of paperwork were incredibly lucrative secret payments and highly controversial clauses. It was essentially a calculated financial maneuver specifically designed to completely bypass standard protocols. It was something the public was literally never meant to see.
Now, these financial arrangements were a fiercely guarded secret. But come on, in the world of global sports media, secrets of that magnitude rarely stay buried forever, do they? So what happens when the very first leaks start trickling out? Well, the facade begins to crack.
Section 4. The media investigation erupts.
And the secrecy? It shattered almost overnight. Day 1 brought the very first leaks. Just tiny whispers, really. But by week 1, full-scale, aggressive media investigations erupted everywhere. By week 2, incredibly serious legal questions were being asked about the actual validity of those secret clauses. And by week 3, the public reaction just completely exploded. We're talking about a quiet boardroom secret mutating into a massive global sporting scandal in less than a month.
But by the time the absolute truth actually emerged from all these intense investigations, the damage had already been done. I mean, you simply cannot put the genie back in the bottle once public trust is completely broken like that.
Section 5. Impact on the pitch.
And we really have to pause and examine the human cost of all this off-field drama. Before the scandal hit, remember, this was a rising superstar with literally limitless potential. But post-scandal, that reality was completely replaced with immense, suffocating pressure and brutal daily media criticism. And most tragically, the heavy mental weight of this hidden boardroom deal directly compromised his ability to perform. Essentially, corporate bureaucracy and backroom dealings destroyed his peace out on the pitch.
So the player's career is actively being altered by this intense, unrelenting scrutiny. But we have to ask, was the controversy even finished yet? Had the dust actually settled?
Section 6. The football politics fallout.
Because the ripple effects of this deal extended far, far beyond just one single player. The fallout was absolutely monumental. Governing bodies immediately scrambled to close these massive loopholes, which resulted in severe, sweeping consequences for the club involved. That single secret contract cemented long-term shifts in football politics, fundamentally altered the global transfer market, and kicked off years, literally years, of heated debate.
So, looking back at the wreckage and all the hard lessons learned here, we're really left to wonder, could this entire scandal have been avoided? Like, what if transparency had simply been prioritized over secrecy right from day one?
You know, football history is absolutely full of great goals, incredible saves, and completely unforgettable matches. But as we've clearly seen here today, sometimes history actually changes in a boardroom. The real game, the one that dictated the entire future, was played behind closed doors, not out on the green grass.
Because it all boiled down to this exact relentless progression, a hidden meeting, which birthed a secret contract, which was then finalized by
A single signature, just one. And for one incredibly bright rising star, that signature changed absolutely everything. It's a pretty stark reminder for all of us to always look past the flashy headlines and seriously question the fine print. Does the whole structure of modern sports encourage these kinds of shadows, or was this just a one-time catastrophic failure? I guess the next time you see a massive blockbuster transfer announced, you really have to ask yourself, what aren't they telling us? Thanks for hanging out and watching this explainer. See you next time.